What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we've got a bit of an update about this lovely Digimon trading card game that's getting a global release. I am still so gosh darned excited and delighted that this is going to be getting a global release. Now, I should mention at this stage that anytime we get an update of any description that's worth talking about, I suppose I should add, we will be covering it on this channel. So, if you're not subscribed already and you have an interest in the Digimon TCG, might I suggest you go and do so sooner rather than later. What we're going to be talking about today is a whole bunch of information about BoxToppers, because the lovely folks over on the Facebook group, as in the official Facebook for the game, not the awesome Facebook group full of awesome people, have gone and told us about BoxToppers. And they've answered one of our questions, and they have made things a lot more confusing about our other question. Lovely. So, in terms of the BoxToppers, which are the full art alternate art tamers, it has now been confirmed that there are 10 different versions, and you get one of them with every box. What it says on this graphic, you can see, and the English cards, I've spent so much time looking at Japanese cards and fan translations that to see official English cards still fills me with genuine joy. But we can see here that there are 10 types of parallel design tamer cards to collect, and it has confirmed they are the 10 in the picture. There is one card per pack, and they are the same card designs as the BoxTopper of Japanese version boosters 1 and 2. It does also say that release special booster version 1.5 will have a different BoxTopper pack, and it says designs shown are not finalised, but we might have a talk about that at the end if we've got time. They are actually finalised. Shh. So what we've got here is essentially the BoxToppers from New Evolution, the first set, and BoxToppers from Ultimate Power, the second set. And while we're here, can I just point out how awesome and refreshing and easy and lovely it is that Bandai are just out and out saying, look, they're the BoxToppers from the first 2 Japanese sets. They're not pretending that the Japanese card game's a bit different and all of that. They are just going, right, we know the Japanese card game's out there, so do you. So we're going to explain it in terms of the Japanese set for those of you that think about it in those terms, like myself. Yay, this is awesome. Thank you, Bandai. Now, what I will say is, that is a lot. Now, assuming you don't get any doubles here, we are looking at buying 1 box per BoxTopper, 10 BoxToppers, that is 10 boxes. And the chances, I'm not going to run the maths right now, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm tired, but if anyone wants to whack it in the description, go for it. But the chance of pulling all 10 of them without pulling any doubles is extremely slim. Like, super proper job slim. But as I told you in a previous video about these, none of these are actually essential. They're cool, they're fun, we love them, but none of them are essential, and that in and of itself is awesome. If you want the shiny blinged out versions, you are going to have to pay for them. If you want to complete the set and you think that the set includes these BoxToppers, because let's face it, the set includes whatever you think it includes, collect whatever you like, you are going to need these. And these ain't going to be cheap. These are going to be amongst the most expensive cards in the game because there's 10 of them and it is 1 per box. But you know what? That's all right. Now, I should mention not all of the tamers actually got alternate art versions. The majority of them did, but there are a few that were actually left out. Not in New Evolution, I should say. In New Evolution, all of the tamers got their fancy versions, but when we went over to Ultimate Power, we had more than 5 tamers, so some of them did actually not get the alternate versions. By some of them, I of course mean 2 of them. There was no Reina. Reina did not get one, and Reina's a kind of a cool card. It's the one where if one of your blue Digimon attacks, you can rest it to give an extra 1,000 power. Or when you play, I suppose, you reveal the top 3 cards of your deck and add a Digimon whose name contains V to your hand from amongst them. So it helps you search out your V line of Digimon, and bearing in mind we've got stuff like Ulforce Vidramon, for instance, which, I mean, if one of your tamers is put to rest, you get to make this Digimon active, and it's not limited to once during your turn. So that means that you can essentially do this multiple times with multiple tamers. Now, there are arguably better options. I like the other Box Topper promo better for these kind of decks. We'll get there later. But having this kind of card is really cool. The other one that doesn't get his own Box Topper promo is unfortunately Tiger. And if you're playing a Tyrannomon deck, a green Tyrannomon deck, Tyrannomon the line does exist in both green and red versions, you are going to want Tiger, because firstly, your Digimon whose name contains Tyrannomon get piercing, and secondly, on your turn, if you would Digivolve into a Digimon whose name contains Tyrannomon, you can rest this card and reduce the Digivolution cost by 1. Digivolution? There we go. Having said that, there's no reason you couldn't play this green tamer in a red Tyrannomon deck, because there's nothing in here that actually limits it to red decks. You have been warned. So they're the ones we're not getting. All the others from sets 1 and 2 are available. And, I mean, I don't think it is a massively outside the box prediction at this stage to say that when we get to version 1.5, there is going to be a pack with one box topper. There are going to be 5 different versions, and they're going to be the 5 that are coming around in Union Impact. Because the first 2 Japanese sets had 5 tamers as box toppers, so it would be super weird if the third one didn't. Given that the first 10 are coming out here, that leaves 5. So essentially, the box toppers in our version 1.5 will be exactly the same as in Union Impact over in Japan. 5 different versions, 1 random one in a pack per box, which is kind of cool. Now, I did previously tell you about the other box toppers, because we now know that when you buy a box, you get one of these full arts, and you get a couple of other cards as well. Seriously, in terms of box toppers, that's pretty gosh darn generous. There are a lot of very cool things going on. Bandai are being nice to us, quite frankly. And what we've got is 3 pairs of promos that were given away in magazines over in Japan. So you can see in the graphic here, they are split into pairs, and you can see on the front of the booster, they are actually split into pairs, and each of these pairs was given away with a specific Japanese magazine. Now, the question we had before, now we know there are 6 types, we know that there are 2 cards per pack, and we know that there is 1 pack per box. The big question we had was, are they coming as pairs? Like, are you going to get Garurumon and Weregarurumon, or Agumon and Greymon, or Veedramon Zero and Taikami V-Tamer, or are you going to get 2 random ones from among them? Now, if you look at this graphic here, which they put up on the official Facebook group, it certainly does look a whole heap like you are getting a pair. And that would be enough to convince me if it wasn't for a Facebook message I received today. And by the way, I know a bunch of you have been getting in touch about Digimon to share your excitement, to ask questions, to feed me information I might not have seen. Whether I have or not is irrelevant. Everyone that gets in touch and is trying to help, you guys are awesome, and I thank you very much. But the lovely Traffic McPherson got in touch. They actually asked the question. And they said, question regarding a recent post. For the promos, do they come in the pairs shown, essentially being a 1 in 3 possible pulls? And the answer was, I'm not sure, I believe the pairings are random. So that would suggest that they don't come in pairs. So I don't know if we're any better of an answer. If you ask me for my prediction is they are coming as pairs, but that is nothing more than a prediction. We don't actually know at this stage. One new piece of information we do know, it is the same pack for booster version 1 and 1.5. So whereas we know that there's 10 different box toppers in terms of the full arts in version 1, and then they're switching to the next 5, it's not confirmed 5, but it's blatantly 5, for version 1.5, here we have confirmation that you're going to be getting the same pack in both of the first 2 sets. And what this really means is this. It's going to be easier to get your hands on these. I told you in the previous video, these are actually pretty good cards. They are playable, they help you out, they are exclusive. All of the full art tamers are just tamers you can get in the set proper. These cards are only available in these box topper packs. So putting these packs in the first 2 boxes, firstly, that's cool. Secondly, they don't need to. Bandai could very, very easily have just put these in version 1.0, and they would have given us the promos, they would have made them available, and we probably would have been pretty happy. The fact that they are putting them in version 1.5 as well is more evidence that they really are looking out for us. And I know there are some people out there that are trying to pick fault with what Bandai are doing and how they're doing that and all of that. But the reality is, they're doing a lot of things which are actually really looking out for us, and this is just cool. Now again, the designs are not finalised, and my point is this. In business, and I have been teaching, I still do, business for a very long time now, there's a thing called lead time. And lead time is the amount of time it takes to actually produce a product. These are hitting stores for the pre-sale in November. There is absolutely no way they are going to be changing the language on some of these cards, because some people don't like the terms they're using. Having said that, we've been using fan translations of Japanese terms, so they weren't exactly infallible to begin with. But to change some of the wordings of some of the skills, etc., some of the keywords of the game, that change would have to be made and approved up several lines of management. Then the cards would have to be remade, redesigned with the new words. Then the cards would have to be signed off with that. Then they would have to be produced, packaged and shipped, all before November. I know it says designs are not finalised. That is a standard thing that companies say in these situations, so that... Well, I'll give you an example. There was a situation where an Optimus Prime card was officially revealed with the wrong number of hit points. And it was really simple. What they'd actually done, they had accidentally uploaded an out-of-date scan before they bumped up the hit points. So they just put out the new scan and everyone was happy. And you can see on the screen they are clearly not the same card. They accidentally revealed the same one. That's why you see phrases like designs not finalised. It's not because people in the office are still sitting down and having a little bit of a play and trying to figure out what they're doing. The game is in shops in 2 months' time. They are not still arguing over what keywords are going to be used. Honestly, if production isn't already in full swing, I would be absolutely stunned. Plus, remember, there is that rumour going around that this announcement was actually going to come in July, and I have told you, and I have no proof of this is pure speculation, but I told you that I am imagining that what happened was that essentially they were going to make the announcement, but their business got pushed back by what's going on in the world. And then, does anyone think it's a coincidence that the announcement was pushed back 2 months? Again, I have no proof that it was, but that's what I've heard and I believe it. And there's a pre-sale 2 months before the actual release, almost like they started production, but couldn't get it finished in time. So they're doing a pre-sale with what they could produce. I'm willing to bet that what is coming out in November is already printed. Sorry. I think I might do a video in the next couple of days about misconceptions that people are having. Just kind of using me business knowledge and research from over the years. But I know it says designs are not finalised. I would be absolutely stunned if these cards were not already locked into designs. There we go. Let's finish on a positive. Let's face it, lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of good news. This is awesome. We're getting 3 extra cards per booster box. They're making these magazine promos available. Bandai are looking out for us, and we should be pretty gosh darn happy at this stage. The game is coming, and honestly, Bandai are doing it in a way which really does seem customer-centric, and I am delighted. But I'd like to know what you think about all these box toppers. So let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassy. That's where we talk Digimon and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing is always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wassy Plays.